Can you tell that these two completely different styles of music are both played on the Suona? Nowadays, when people talk about the Suona, they often describe it as intense and powerful, even calling it the king of instruments. But just a few decades ago, this traditional instrument was almost forgotten and on the brink of despair. In this video, we'll explore the rise and fall of the Suona and how today's young musicians are carrying forward and revitalizing this traditional instrument. Did you know where the Suona comes from? Suona, a traditional Chinese musical instrument, actually does not originate from China. It was introduced from Persia and Arabia around the 3rd century and gradually took root in China. By the Ming Dynasty, it had become hugely popular. General Qi Jiguang even used the Suona in military music, and the Ming-era writer Wang Pan mentioned it in his work, saying, "The trumpet and Suona, though the tone is short, have a loud sound." This shows that despite its small size, the Suona packs a powerful punch. After that, the Suona became one of the most widely used instruments across China. You'd find it at weddings, funerals, festivals, temple fairs, and even in operas and dances. But by the late 20th centuries, with the rise of the internet and the influx of Western culture, traditional instruments like the Suona started to fade from view. Compared to the earthy sound of Suona, younger generations were more drawn to the modern appeal of pop music. In recent years though, young Suona performers have started to blend the instrument with different musical styles, presenting a unique charm to global audiences in fresh and exciting ways. The Suona may look simple with just 5 parts: the reed, bill, core, body, and mouthpiece. But getting it to play well is no easy task.
Sorry.
It takes serious lung capacity and breath control just to make a sound. But going from that first note to fully master it and producing beautiful music can take years of hard work.
比如说我练琴，我一关门，我就可以一天不出房间，就是练到我这个嘴啊完全兜不住了，嘴上也没有力量去控制哨天了啊！我今天算练到位了，但其实是很痛苦的。
As a folk instrument, the Suona has mainly been passed down orally through master-apprentice relationships. Back in its prime, Suona players made their living off this unique skill. Some techniques were kept within families, passed from father to son or master to disciple. This closed-off method of teaching meant that few people learned the instrument, and there's little written documentation, making it vulnerable to being lost over time. As Chinese society transitioned from an agricultural to an industrial economy, the demand for Suona performances gradually decreased. Traditional customs were replaced by new practices. At a festival, Western bands slowly replaced Suona ensemble. Compared to popular music from tape recordings, Suona tones were gradually seen as old-fashioned and unsophisticated. On the top of that, practicing the Suona in cities can create noise complaints from neighbors.
小时候学乐器吧，就是对唢呐没有什么太多好感，因为在童年的印象里面，太多都是不好的印象，比如说父母因为我在家里吹跟邻居吵架呀，因为太响了。
With social changes and shifting demands, it has become increasingly difficult for Suona players to make a living from their craft. Despite the changing social demands that have limited the Suona's development, a new generation of passionate young musicians is finding innovative ways to preserve and elevate this traditional instrument in modern society. The young woman in this video is Liu Wenwen, a Suona player from Shandong province. She's China's first doctoral candidate in Suona studies, a 13th generation practitioner, and a professor at the Shanghai Conservatory of Music. On the grand stage of the Sydney Opera House, Liu blended the Suona with a Western symphony orchestra, performing the iconic Song of the Phoenix. Her performance not only pushed the boundaries of Suona's traditional use, but also preserved its roots by incorporating the local Shandong kaxi, mimicking human voices and animal calls, receiving thunderous applause. Today, more and more young Suona artists are leveraging online platforms to popularize the instrument. Some perform abroad, showcasing Chinese culture in the street, while others collaborate with renowned artists across different genres. There are even examples of foreigners learning to play the Suona. Instances of Suona being fused with wind instruments, jazz, rock, and pop music are increasingly common. These emerging artists are taking the Suona to new heights on the world stage. Every culture experiences cycles of rise and decline. As times change, some old customs are inevitably left behind. However, the Suona has evolved from a folk instrument played in the villages to a prominent feature on urban stages and a fusion of world music. Nowadays, more young people are learning the Suona in formal academic settings, integrating it with contemporary trends. Suona is not merely a relic of the past, it's a symbol of resilience, innovation, and cultural continuity. In the hands of these young musicians, it's no longer confined to its traditional role, but is becoming a bridge that connects the ancient with the modern, the East with the West. As the world continues to change, music and its meaning also evolve. With each powerful note, the Suona carries the spirit of a generation, forging a bold path into the future.